Okay.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Brown from Market for Yourself podcast, and today's guest is Chris Albright. Chris, introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hi, Jeffrey. My name is Chris Albright. I am a transformational coach. Previously, I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, retired in 2013, ran an IT company. In that experience, worked myself too hard, didn't take care of myself, didn't make time during the day to do healthy things, and my health suffered. So got myself healthy in 2019. Going into the pandemic, I dropped about 85 pounds, found healthy ways to go through my day to make sure that I would live past 50 and live a long, healthy life.
Cool. So I think that, and I know when I talk to people on these podcasts, a lot of time there's something that happens in their life that makes them have a change of their mindset. So, kind of what event took place or happened in your life that made you like, I got to lose 85 pounds?
Sure. So I didn't even shoot that high. I just said, hey, if I lose 25 to 50 pounds, I'd be happy. But I was doing the normal thing. I was working from home, riding my laptop, sitting in my recliner, taking care of client issues, and I noticed that I had some pain in my feet, like diabetic nerve pain. I was kind of freaked out by it, and I wasn't sure what was happening. And like I mentioned, I was pretty heavy. I went right from the military into running a home business, and I got close to 300 pounds in about 6 years. Um, and I was very sedentary. And I sat back and I thought about it, and I'm realizing that I had 6 different medications I was taking every day for diabetes, blood pressure, high cholesterol, GERD, all sorts of problems. And I was sitting there kind of realizing that at the time I was 44 and life sucked. And I just sitting there, I was like, if I don't get off my butt and start doing something and get serious about this, I'm not going to make it to 50. I'm going to be one of those guys that just passes away too early because he just stopped caring and stopped trying. And I woke up and I was just like, something has to change. I came home from work and I said, look, I don't know what we need to do, but we got to start moving and doing things and changing our diet and getting active because this is not healthy for either of us. And I ended up in 90 days, I dropped 45 pounds. My doctor gave me a clean bill of health and said, hey, whatever you're doing, keep going because you no longer have diabetes. Your blood pressure is fantastic. Your cholesterol's awesome. He's like, I wish I could keep myself doing stuff like this to stay healthy. I wish the rest of my clients could do something like this, take action, actually improve their lives. He's like, this is awesome. And that was 90 days in. And into the pandemic, I dropped another 40, 45 pounds and got back down to the weight I was in the Marine Corps. Now I'm 48 and I feel like I'm probably 35, 40 years old.
So, let's talk about the transformational part. What makes a person switch from being this person that's overweight, diabetes, unhealthy, to the person like 85 pounds later, 4 years later, feel like they're 35 instead of 45?
Uh, I realized that the place I was so miserable that the amount of effort I had to put into changing couldn't be that bad. I was in such a dark place and I was like, I'm absolutely so miserable dealing with all my clients, dealing with all the stress of business, dealing with not sleeping, not eating right, probably drinking too much in the evenings, just being absolutely consumed by running a business and not making time for myself. I was like, whatever it is going to get me on track can't be that bad. Like this is already like absolutely terrible. So it was a mind shift. It was a mindset shift. And it wasn't even that hard to drop the weight. Once I made the decision that I am not going to spend the rest of my life taking 6 prescriptions every day or more forever because they're not fixing the problem, they're only taking care of symptoms. I am going to get off these medications, whatever it takes. And I just started moving every day and it was that easy. And once I realized that it was what I'm going to do, it happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I think when I talk about transformation, I think about how I transform my life and how things happen in my life. But I think I wasn't quite aware of that I was in pain or I was in a traumatic situation. I actually went to a transformational training based on making more money. So it was like, hey man, I got this training and I've been doing it. My health has increased, my financial situation. Now I make more money. Why don't you come check it out? And that's how I got involved. And just by the desire to make more money, I went to a training. And in that training, I discovered that who I thought I wasn't. And it was pretty amazing to think like, man, this who you thought you was, and that's not what people perceive you to be. So that changed the way I thought about myself. And once that changed the way I thought about myself, I felt like I could do anything. And so
Yeah.
for me, it was a different. It wasn't like I needed to fix something. It was more like I wanted something, and that God kind of drove me into finding out how to be better.
Awesome. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, I knew that what I was doing was I was not happy, and it was not healthy for me, and it had to get better. I didn't know what it was, but I had to start doing something to make that change. But I can see what you're talking about. You take care of yourself, you're gonna, in the long run, be more profitable because you're gonna have more energy, you're gonna have more uh, endurance to, do the things you need to do every day. You're gonna have the right attitude to go after the right business and attract positivity into your life because you're in a different state of mind.
So, is there a particular process you go through with people, your clients, or people that you work with?
First thing I do is really have them kind of acknowledge what they want and why they want it. Because if they're just saying, I want to lose some weight. Okay, well, that's great. Why do you want to lose some weight? Have them get down deep and understand what it is. Do they have kids they want to be around for? Do they have grandkids they want to be around for? Do they realize that the way their life is now, they're not going to live that long and they want to do things after they retire with their spouse? They got to acknowledge that there's something driving them. And once they see that, it gives them something to kind of focus on, understand that the effort they put in every day is for something. It's not just for themselves. It's for their kids. It's for their family. It's for their business. It's for their spouse, whatever the case. And then we look at um, their obviously their eating habits and their energy output. If they're doing anything during the day, where do they have extra time in the day? What can they commit to doing? Start simple. I don't want to overextend them too early because if they get too much too soon, they're going to quit. This is too hard. I don't want to do it. So we find something simple they can start with, get them some quick wins so they can see that it's working. And once they have some change in their life, they're like, "Oh, this isn't so bad." And then usually what happens is once they start getting active and start losing weight, typically what happens is they have somebody in their household that's like, maybe it's their spouse, maybe it's one of their kids, maybe it's their neighbor, somebody that's going with them. And so they're affecting their lives and they're seeing results. So it starts to give them encouragement, say, hey, I got to keep going every day because this person's going with me and they're in it with me. So it's a matter of finding the stimulation to get them to do it and then finding something that they can commit to on a regular basis.
Cool. So, is there a book or something that you read in your that helped you in the journey that you would you recommend some books or something that somebody might want to read to help them in their journey?
Um, when I started this process, I spent a lot of time in YouTube, kind of digging deep, like how to lose weight, what to eat, like what's going to work, right? I spent hours and hours and hours watching videos, which I don't recommend. It's fun, but it also consumes a lot of your day. Um, Atomic Habits, James Clear. Have you read that one?
Yes.
That's a great book. That one shows you how easy it is to commit to something, a small step. It doesn't have to be a difficult thing, just a small step. Put your shoes on. You're gonna go your running shoes. Put your running shoes on. Just put them on. Or go sit in the car and turn it on. Just sit there, turn the car on. That one little thing is going to give you that nudge to go, right? Nobody wants to go to the gym. Um, but I got really deep into the Joe Dispenza, kind of the mindset shifting kind of books. Um, for everybody, I think it's different. Miracle Morning is a great book. If you ever heard of that one, it sets up your day to kind of give you something to start your day. Give yourself an hour just to yourself in the morning. Just do something for yourself. Start the day off on a positive note and get on track. Because really, it's like I said, it's finding something that's going to motivate you to do something every day.
Right. Cool. So, how do people find you, Chris, if they want some support?
I'm on Facebook, Chris Albright. Um, my banner on my page is Mind, Body, Breathe. Work on your body, work on your mind, focus on your breathing. LinkedIn, Facebook. Um, if you want, I can give you my Linktree account. It's just Chris Albright. Has all my social media pages on there and a calendar page to schedule an appointment if they want to talk.
Cool. Chris, is there something in this podcast that you wished I've asked you that I haven't asked?
Um, no, I think the big thing is everybody just kind of has to realize that the only person that's going to look out for them is themselves, and they have to take action and do something. Whatever you're going through, realize that everybody's going through something. So even if you can't help yourself, help somebody else, and that karma will come back to you and it'll help you and it'll make you feel better. You'll start doing more, have gratitude for everything you've done so far. You're exactly where you need to be and keep going.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on, Chris. It was like 85 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of
So,
extra baggage to carry.
right. So if you can have somebody, helping with that, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Um, until next time, I just want to say I appreciate you being here. And until next time, this is Jeffrey Brown from Marketplace Self Podcast. Talk to you soon.